Nachi free.
The fact checkers, get to work.
You are.
Shut up, bitch.
Kuni mini mono moto.
I know, Scully. That's no way to talk to a lady. Or to win over new viewers to my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
But this woman's shameless hypocrisy and opportunistic power grabbing needs to be called out and understood by more people. But I don't want to come across as negative, like she's accusing anyone who dares question her about anything. Which is why I took the time to visit her website and give her the benefit of the doubt by fact-checking for myself. Yet on her HillaryClinton.com, I saw nothing that refutes Billy Boy's sexual harassment or rape allegations, and nothing about how Hillary represented a pedophile rapist many years ago. However, for anyone watching this video that can prove those allegations wrong, please let me know. I don't want to be part of the very same divisiveness and hatred that I'm trying to call out. But I get it. Those are personal issues, which in my humblissimo opinion, if they're true, speak volumes of this power couple's character and the kind of leadership we're going to get. And if the new allegations that have come out about Donald Trump forcing himself on women are true, he's an even bigger douchebag than I thought. But that's if those allegations are true. Funny how those are coming out now, less than 1 month before election time, and only after the Clintons' October surprise of bringing up that audio recording of him from 11 years ago, 2 days before their second debate.
Grab him by the pussy.
Oh, politics is dirtier than porn. Which, by the way, if that's the best the Clintons can come up with on Trump, he's a slightly better choice than Hillary. But enough character assassination and speculation. Let me stick to policy, like this one. Environmental racism. Now, among the examples she cites, for anyone who's not familiar with the Flint, Michigan water crisis, it's a horrible tragedy that has poisoned the drinking water of that city with lead. I'm not going to get into the details of this very complex and unfortunate issue, and much less the other two examples she cites. But to simply blame what happened in Flint on racist Republicans is as grossly misleading as many of Donald Trump's scorched earth tactics. Because by simply blaming it on racism, we don't get to fully understand all the reasons behind these government blunders in order to avoid them in the future. This is another example of how career politicians like Hillary Clinton drive the wedge of division even further. By pointing out claims like environmental racism, she ends up creating more resentment among many people who don't take the time to read through her bullshit. Instead of addressing the real reasons why many low-income communities of blacks and or Latinos are short of funds, particularly in democratic states like Michigan that have been adversely affected by deals like NAFTA thanks to her husband. No, Hillary doesn't go high on this one. She goes low. That's right, honey. You go for the low-hanging fruit of obfuscation and baseless racism. And just like her little tab of 112 reasons not to vote for Trump, this one alone is enough for me to not vote for her or any Democrats in this historically polarized election year.
Are you quite finished? What you're saying is beyond rubbish. It's absolute sewage.
Lefty, stay out of this, all right? This is the down and dirty world of American politics.
It's down and dirty, all right. You mendacious gutter snipe. Good day.
Anywho, and Hillary Clinton is not just pandering for the black vote with environmental racism. She's also going for the environmentalist vote. And by tying it into racism, she's trying to divert attention once again from the fact that she actually voted for the Keystone Pipeline, which many environmentalists are against. Particularly those who are now against the Dakota Pipeline, and especially those who claim to be a quarter-part Cherokee because they're ashamed of being white. Which, by the way, have you ever noticed how every time someone claims to have Native American heritage, it's always the Cherokees? It's never the Navajos, who are the largest tribe nowadays, or the Sioux, or the Lakota, or the Apaches, or like down here in Florida, the Miccosukees. No, it's always Cherokee. Maybe it's because they had an uncle that actually owned a Jeep Cherokee and they're a little confused. I actually own a Jeep Patriot myself, but that's besides the point. And it's always a quarter part. I don't know how they do the math, because it's never half or an eighth or 2/3, of course not. Unless one of your 4 biological grandparents are from that specific tribe, you're about as Cherokee as I am Jewish, Japanese, Zulu. Chances are you're of white European descent, and despite the brutal sins of our collective ancestors, because ultimately we're all related as one singular species, there's nothing to be ashamed about being white and calling yourself American. I wasn't born in this country, neither were my parents, and I call myself American, period. There's a lot to be proud of this country, you misguided, pretentious cunt.
Hey!
I'm sorry, Scully. I promise to wrap this up real quick.
That's alright.
Coming back to the Keystone Pipeline. According to Clinton Cash, which I highly recommend watching, Bill Clinton was paid around $2 million for a series of speeches by Toronto Dominion Bank that stood to gain from the Keystone Pipeline, which Hillary approved just around the same time after she became Secretary of State. Coincidence? You decide. Hell, even those sanctimonious social justice warriors at the Huffington Post had to report about this. That's why I almost have a shred of respect for those shitheads, but not really. By the way, I'm no Trump supporter, and much less am I a Republican. And while I do agree with many of the Democratic Party's stances on gay marriage, legalization of marijuana, pro-choice, and various other social issues, especially as an atheist and anti-theist, I find their race-baiting ploys to win votes and redirect blame that they share to be dangerously disingenuous and divisive. That's why our country's biggest domestic problems, namely education, healthcare, and unemployment, don't get properly solved because we're misled, misinformed, and divided at every possible chance, so elite politicians like Hillary can project herself to be the only viable choice to solve problems that she's helped create all along. That's why I'm voting for Gary Johnson whether a cat got his tongue or not.
I do not approve of this message.
Thanks for watching.
Homegrown